I can't believe it. Wrestling cards. Listen up. You guys really think wrestling cards are worth anything? No. You want to wear the Rolexes? You want to wear the gold? It's in sports cards, daddy. Ain't no wrestling cards. Who wants to have cards of guys rolling around oiled up in their underwear? Nobody. You want wrestling cards? You want to wear the suit? You want this? You want this? You gotta buy sports. I'm talking Greg Jeffries, daddy. I'm talking Ryan Leaf. As you can see, I am the Ryan Leaf champion. That's right. I'll take on any comers. Anybody that's better than Ryan Leaf. Anybody that thinks they're better than Ryan Leaf. Come and challenge me. I got all of his cards. I'm making bank on flipping the Ryan Leaf cards. And let's talk Greg Oden. Basketball superstar. That's where the money's at, daddy. Not wrestling cards. Ugh. I don't know what that guy's problem was. What's up, guys? This is Zhan. This is Wrestling with Cards, and welcome to another video. Like that guy that opened the video, I don't know who that was. Wrestling cards are often looked at as lowbrow, low-class entertainment. Fake, trashy, sleazy, carny, all words that I've heard people describe wrestling. But it gets even worse when you start talking about trading cards. Wrestling, trading cards? You gotta be kidding me, right? The gatekeepers in the hobby, the big-time podcasts that want to talk about prison basketball and tops baseball, they don't even acknowledge wrestling cards. Or if they do, they just briefly gloss over it as if it doesn't even exist. It's like, oh, it's wrestling. Hey, but let's talk about soccer. But I'm here to tell you that wrestling cards do, in fact, have value. And I'm not just talking about a few bucks here and a few bucks there. I'm talking big money, Jack. And there's some out there that say, oh, wrestling cards, they shouldn't be worth what people are paying for them. They're overvaluing these cards. But then there's others that say, hey, wrestling cards are in their infancy when it comes to value. They're just now starting to pick up with steam and prices. But when it comes to big money in wrestling cards, there are two guys that are no stranger to the game. I'm talking about two guys who have built an entire empire out of wrestling cardboard. Let me tell you a little story about the wrestling card mega powers. The mega powers. The madness. The mania. Two forces brought together for a common cause. As one, the mega powers are an unstoppable guiding force. But no, I'm not talking about Hulk Hogan. I'm not talking about Macho Man. I'm talking about two guys that have a cardboard wrestling empire. I'm talking about the All-Star, David Peck, and the wrestling card king, Rob England. From their humble beginnings as wrestling fans, David and Rob started buying and collecting pieces of cardboard that featured pictures of their favorite wrestling superstars, while also building up a nice collection of stale and crunchy bubblegum in the process.
I collected cards as a kid. I remember buying 1983 baseball packs.
David has gravitated to the Wrestling All-Star set that features some of the biggest names in pro wrestling history, while Rob has been building up a massive collection of autograph cards, amateur wrestling cards, Olympic cards, and other very rare oddball releases that David and Rob got together and decided to start sending their cards to PSA.
If anybody sees my collection, let's say on the PSA registry, I mean, nobody needs 12 82A All-Star sets on the registry.
At the time, nobody was grading wrestling cards. People made fun of David and Rob for not only their love of professional wrestling, but also for the fact of them grading the cards and paying the prices that they were paying for wrestling cards that they were adding to their collections.
And some of the people I worked with, sort of discourage me and tell me that I was throwing money after bad and stuff. I work with some smart people, I'm in the investment business, and so, I kind of thought it was a little disheartening, but, I just laughed it off. I mean, I thought, hey, if everybody thinks this stuff sucks, it's got nowhere to go but up. So, and I think it's easy to forget how cheap wrestling cards work. I think what bothered me was just that that people were like dissing on other collectors. I don't get that,
And before, wrestling had a really bad stigma attached to it. And when I joined PSA and joined the boards, and if I shared a wrestling card, I either got crickets, nothing, or some of the responses that I'd get back is, why are you collecting this trading card of a guy in shorts or, bare-chested men? Why is that something that you're collecting? And so it got no respect at all.
But despite the criticisms they've received, they kept collecting, flying the flag for wrestling cards. Fast forward to 2020. The sports card hobby has exploded. Record sales are popping up everywhere. Retail has become a wasteland for people hoarding products and reselling them on popular online platforms. Grading companies are backed up beyond belief and closing. Wrestling cards in 2020 are no exception to the hobby explosion. We started to see record sales of many different wrestling cards. But just who are the people selling all of these cards? Who are the people that went to the trouble of buying and grading rare, hard to find wrestling cards? The wrestling card mega powers, that's who. After years of collecting what they love and believing in, after years of going against the grain of the mainstream and not caring what anyone else thought, David and Rob began to reap the rewards of their collections. But they didn't sell off their entire collections. After only selling a few cards each, the wrestling card mega powers began to live the life of luxury. And I'm not talking about the life of luxury that many people in the hobby may be thinking of. We're talking about the Ric Flair type of life.
Get ready! Woo! We are on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive!
We're talking about the best of the best, buying mansions, boats, private jets, cars, and just about anything else that these two would want. Now they sit back and laugh at their detractors while they count up their slabs, their cars, their money, and their accomplishments. The wrestling card mega powers, David Peck, Rob England. A true American story of hard work, determination, and the willingness to believe in yourself. Hope you guys were entertained with that. Hope you had some fun. But in all seriousness, the facts are the facts. There's some big money out there in wrestling cards, and it's just going to keep going up. Now, it's not maybe going to go this way up, but it's going to be like a gradual climb. This is regardless of what the mainstream, what these major hobby podcasts want to tell you. They want to talk about all this other stuff. They don't want to talk about wrestling. That's fine. As wrestling collectors, we will keep reaping the benefits and just getting what we can. So I hope this video has encouraged you, if you do collect wrestling cards, to keep collecting. And I hope this video has encouraged you by the form of entertainment that there is money to be made out there with wrestling cards. And even if you're not one to make money, there's really good value. So if you want to buy that Hogan or that Flair or that Rock or that Roman Reigns, whatever it is you believe in, there will be value down the road. And as I always preach, you got to make money to flip into that bigger stuff. And before you know it, if you've worked hard enough, you got these major cards that you never expected to have. Ultimately, just have fun, though. Don't let anybody get in your way of what you want to buy. And I want to shout out David Peck and Rob England again for allowing me to do this video. And not only that, but kind of getting out in front of the curve and grading a lot of the wrestling cards before anybody else was. They kind of laid the path so a lot of us could follow in their footsteps in the grading and, profiting off of some of these cards and then just getting into bigger stuff. If this video brought you value today, give me one of these, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to check out the videos on the screen for even more great wrestling card content. I'll see you there.